What's up, everybody? It's Magic here with RaceNews.com, back for another edition of Dr. Miranda Previews. With me, as always, is my co-host, Dr. Miranda. How are you today?
Doing good. I'm back in Kentucky. I left, it was 83 degrees last Sunday, and now it's supposed to snow, and it's 30 degrees here. So it's miserable, but I'm excited to be back. Not really. I'm not excited to be back, but...
Well, we are going to be back in the division that you showed last year. Time and again was your best, which is the older female dirt handicap division. We are looking at Sunday's Grade 3 $300,000 Houston Ladies Classic over at Sam Houston, part of the biggest day of the year that they have at Sam Houston, and they have their extremely low takeout, 12% across the board for these multi-race wagers. So we want to help you get things going. If you're going to play this ticket, the Magic Mike Show is covering the late pick 4 sequence. This is the second leg of it, and this is race 8 on the card. Dr. Miranda, 7 fillies and mares 4 and up entered here. You've got the super speedy Latruska as the even money favorite all the way outside post 7. Post 4, Lady Apple is the defending champion. She's back trying to find her first win since last year's edition. And then she's also got a new Steve Asmussen barn mate, Motion to Motion on the rail at 7-2, second choice. Where are you going on top here?
So on top, I'm going to go with the number 2, Jeweled Princess. Now, this girl is 5 of her last 6 races. Now, I'm going to scratch out Bloomington Park Oaks, where she finished 5th. The race 3 weeks before that on Oaks Day, she got nicked really bad. If you guys are curious, you can look at Kenny McPeak's Twitter. It's a really gross photo. So I honestly don't think that she was 100% healed. And she's been off over the holidays. She's been hanging out with Swiss Skydiver at Silver Leaf Hills, hopefully getting some pointers. She also gets Raylu, who is off to an excellent start here. He is right behind Stuart Elliott. So I expect her to have a lot of speed and expect her to stalk. Now, right underneath, I like the 7, Latruska. This girl is coming off a 98 Buyer race in the G3. She's had 4 graded stakes in a row, and she's won 2 of them. Both wins were at 90 Buyers, which is ahead of this field. She's the favorite, and honestly, she deserves to be. She has a lot of early speed, and I think she's going to link up with the number 1, which now I'm going to talk about the rest of the field and see why I don't really like the rest of these horses. Now, the number 1, Motion to Motion. Let me start off by this horse may be the favorite post time due to just being a myracehorse.com contender. Every time a horse is in there, they become favorites at the end. Not to mention, you have Steve Asmussen in there. She's been off for the last 6 months after getting her career best Buyer of 91 in the Personal Ensign G1 in August. She finished 4th behind Vexatious and Midnight Bizu. Before that, she had a second place finish to Midnight again and beat the morning line favorite Latruska here last April. She's been working out great and finishing 1 of 41 and 1 of 47 the last 2 times. Now, I want to talk about the number 3 horse, Ujai. This race to me just seems like a little bit of a step in class for her. She just raced 10 days ago in New York and got 3rd. And I think this is a little bit tougher competition, and the fact that she just came from New York to Texas in such a short amount of time, I think it's going to have a lot of impact on her, so that's why I'm looking elsewhere. Now, the number 4, Lady Apple, the defending champion. She's the other Asmussen horse with his main jockey, Stuart Elliott. So that tells me a little bit that they like her more than the number 1 horse. But with that said, her being the defending champion last year, she has not ran as great as she did last year. She ran a 98 Buyer, and now she runs mid-70s to 80s every time out. And she's only hit the board 3 of 6 times out, and nothing better than 3rd place. So looking back at the notes, they say flattened, empty, no threat, little left. So I think she's honestly on the downhill while some of these other horses are going up on the uphill. Now, the number 5 horse figured out. This horse has never been in a graded stakes. She seems to be okay at best. She did win 2 starts back with Flo, but that was at a 40K optional claimer. And then they put her in a stakes company at Oaklawn literally last week, and she got 6th place. I feel like getting 6th, then going 8 days later to a G3 with a group of fillies this good just kind of makes me question what they're doing. Like you said, they may end up scratching her because I just don't understand what they may be doing with her in the spot. And the last one I want to talk about is the number 6. She's our fastest. I don't think she's the fastest here. They ran her in 5.5 furlongs, got 5th. Then they went to a mile, she got 3rd, and both were in mid-70 Buyers. And she's been off for 2 months. So with that said, I think she's a little bit in over her head there. So with my picks, I know it would be great if Steve Asmussen could win here and hit record books of being the only trainer to get 3rd wins of this classic, but I don't think it's going to happen. I'm going to fade him like I always do. So my top pick is the number 2, Jeweled Princess. Now underneath, You guys bet the house on it and exacta box with a 2-7 because I honestly think it's going to be one of these two horses in the end. In a try box, I'm going to do 2-7, 2-7, and then all. Just try to get a price somewhere if we can get the other Asmussen horses out of here. Now, in a super box, I am going to add the Asmussen horses because I can't be dumb here. We're going to go 2-7, 1-4, and I'm going to add in the 3. Hopefully, she gets across there and we get some money across.
Perfect. I like your strategy here. Try and beat the two Steve Asmussen horses at Sam Houston. Both are going to be shorter prices here, so especially if you can get Jeweled Princess 8-1 on the morning line, if that floats up at all, which it might very well likely could against these horses that she hasn't faced yet. But I thought that you brought up a great point about her hoof getting really nicked up in one of those races, and she seems to be doing a lot better, winning her last 2 straight. So I love it. We've got, like I said earlier, we have the entire Racing Dudes team focusing on Sam Houston on Sunday, January 31st. We're going to have the Magic Mike Show covering the late pick 4 sequence. This is the second leg. I'm definitely going to take Dr. Miranda's handicapping input when I look at the sequence because I haven't done that yet. Dr. Miranda, tell everybody else where they can find you on Twitter. Follow all your insight and tips.
At Miranda Bunky.
Perfect. Make sure you check out the Magic Mike Show airing later this week. We'll be covering the late pick 4 sequence, and Racing Dudes they will be covering as well on Blinkers Off. Until next time, good luck this weekend.